Hello, 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 hello. So I invite you to hang out with me for a few minutes. Stop your scroll, hang out with me for a few minutes. I've been starting to talk about Sanctuary of She and what goes on in there more and more, especially over the last few months. And the reality is that the concept of actually what we're doing in there and why it's so powerful is a bit complex. It's a bit complex. And so my goal with this video is really to take a few minutes to break it down and show you what it is that we do in there so that you can hopefully come join us, but really understand why this thing is so awesome. So basically, the whole premise of this concept was built off of manifestation. And it doesn't matter how familiar you are with manifestation, I feel like if you're especially on my page, you have a pretty good idea of the concept of the law of attraction. What you think about, you attract. It's how energy works. So when it came to wanting to create a community and a home for this piece that I love so much, manifestation, the quantum field, I could geek out all day, every day. But when it comes to this, if we know that what we focus on, we attract more of into our life, then the question becomes, okay, so how do we stay focused for longer and longer periods of time on what it is that we actually do want in our lives instead of where we are or what we don't want or what we're trying to resist? So what we're speaking to in this lens is the subconscious system. So the subconscious rules 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions in the average person. So that's why we'll have these things that really activate us. We'll read a good book, we'll go to a retreat, we'll attend a seminar, we'll join a program or get a mentor, or have these bursts where the 5% conscious mind will be like, oh yes, that's what I want, or at least this is the feeling that I want more of. Okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And we're off to the races. And then literally within a couple days, sometimes a couple weeks, we naturally go back to where we started. That's because the subconscious system is really, really powerful. So the thing that I wanted to bring to the world was a place that A, keeps you focused on actually what you want, but B, holds you in the day-to-day work so that you can keep building on it in a community that holds you and sees you in that without going back to where you were, because your reality, your current reality, doesn't reflect back to you what that conscious mind is desiring from desire. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you how this works. Before I do that, I also want you to know that if at any point during this you want to come join us, the link is in my bio to come into the community and check it out. I gift a free month for anyone who wants to come in and check it out for a free month. You just use the code SANCTUARY, all lowercase, when you come to sign up and go in the community. And there's a little tab called Getting Started in there that has tons of videos that explain so much more in depth what I'm gonna do in just a couple minutes right here, that you can watch to geek out with me and really understand, because the concept of the space is actually very simple. Once you come in, you get it really quickly. But if you understand the energetics underground of what we're doing, this place is a vortex to be the catalyst to change your life in the most magnificent ways. The women who come in, you literally start feeling it the moment you start participating. So just know that that's available to you, those videos and that code, if you want to come in and join us for a free month. And this is your formal invitation to do so. I've been talking about it a lot, but I really want to say, like, me to you in this moment, this is your formal invitation. Come join us inside. We would love to have you. For a lot of the women in there, this is their first time ever being part of something like this. So it's kind of like first of all, I don't know anyone, but second of all, I've never really been seen or heard in these ways that I think a lot of the time, this is the work that we normally do internally or with a select group of friends. And to have a space in a community, I hear over and over and over in there, on like first, second call where they join, because everyone's so warm and open and welcoming, like, wow, I feel like I've been waiting for this. Like it's so freeing to get to speak to these things and be seen in these things in a group that gets it and in a group that's doing it next to me. So, okay, so I want to break it down kind of what it is that we do in there. So if we're talking about really bringing together the goal of staying focused on what we want for a consistent amount of time while holding it in the day-to-day until it actually comes to our reality so that we're actually seeing this happen, it really starts with this big question of, okay, so what do I want? What is it that I want to focus on? And I don't know about you, but that question is a huge question for me. There will be days where I do know exactly what I want, or I think I do, but the majority of days, it's like, okay, I have ideas of what I want, but that's also such a humongous question that it can stress me out to think about, well, I don't know, what do I want? And then if I get that clear, it's like, well, that is so big and so far from here that it just feels heavy. So the what do I want question gets broken up into our 3 pillars inside of Sanctuary of She. So Sanctuary of She is an acronym for those 3 pillars: soul, human, energy. Okay, so these are the 3 realms that we play in energetically within the community. Soul is all about purpose and mission, your vision, what you're here to do, what you're here to build. If you're an entrepreneur, this is where you bring in your business. If you are moving up the ladder in your career, this is where you bring all that energy and a place to stay focused on where you're going. If you don't know what you want to do yet, this is your spot to crack that open piece by piece and start to scalp away at the ice to find the sculpture underneath. It's all there. So soul, what you're here to do. Human is you in this body, in this lifetime, with this heart, and these friends, and this family, and this dog, and these relationships, and this house. How you hold her, how you take care of her, whether it comes to health and wellness, whether it comes to your physical body, whether it comes to your triggers and your emotions and just the way that you want to improve communication and navigate different scenarios around you to become the woman that you're ready to become. So that's human. And then energy is specifically your relationship with manifestation and the quantum field. So put in the simplest term, what I mean by that is how to access and tap into the energy of already having it all without needing to wait for permission based on the evidence that the world is giving you in the right now. So you collapse time by tuning into it now while staying consistent with the actions and the energies of that with a no matter what attitude, no excuses. Like really, really tapping into that version of yourself. So what I typically find with those 3 pillars is that those 3 pieces naturally hold most of the fractals of that what do I want question. But it's important that each gets its own time and its own attention, because days turn into weeks, turn into months so quickly that if we're trying to do it all at once, again, this is when that subconscious wins and nothing gets done. So what we do is we work in 4-week cycles. So we have a week for she, a week for human, a week for energy, and then what we call a she week, which is where you play with holding all of it at the same time, and then we clear it all and we begin again. So these 4-week cycles that we go through, we call compounds. Okay, are you with me? We call compounds. The idea of these 4-week cycles And the energy behind the compounds is essentially sticking with this philosophy of compounding your energy and the power of that. So what most of us try to do is, if we're at point A and we want to get to point B, we try to become point B overnight. This is like a New Year's resolution, okay? It's like, okay, I'm here, I want to be here. Here's my list of things that I need to do. And we wake up and we're like, yep, we got it, but we can't hold it because it's not actually who we are. So again, it only takes a couple days or a couple weeks to fall back to where we are at A, because it's not yet who we are. So we can't hold it. It's not natural. It's not embodied. It's just stressful after a while. There might be tiny little things that we stick with, but we can't do it. So the philosophy behind working in these compounds to compound our energy is that if we're at point A and we want to get to point B, we root down so strong into our point A that with every 4-week cycle, every compound, our energy starts to grow and grow and grow until naturally we're holding point B, and then we're holding point C and point D, and so on and so forth. But it's not because it's what we're trying to be, it's because it's who we are. It's a very grounded, sustainable approach that you're building these energies off of concrete that you can trust. It's the root to rise approach. And within that, one of the things that I say over and over and over, if you listen to the podcast, if you're in the community, there is this sentence in a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear that changed my whole life. And it says, identity is repeated beingness. Identity is repeated beingness. So that means, if that's true, we get to have, be, and do absolutely anything we want if we're willing to show up for it over and over and over again. And if we are in that repeated beingness of what we want, our identity is going to represent what that means. So one of the final hugest energetic pieces that we tap into with this whole philosophy is consistency over perfection. It's not about how perfect you do it at all. It's tapping into what it feels like to stay consistent in an approach, maybe for the first time in your life, for the longest you've ever gone, alongside these energies of compounding your energy and staying focused on what you want and having these 3 pillars that hold all pieces of the what do I want question. What starts to happen is you start shifting and bringing it all the way back to the beginning. Who we are and what we put out is what we get back. So life quite literally starts to change like that. But it's this beautiful journey of both doing it to be focused on what you want, but also in this state of surrender, because so much is going to be coming on its way to you, and you couldn't even dream up how good it's going to get. So at the baseline, at the simplest level, that's how we operate inside of the community. We have our own app. So you download it right to your phone, and it's your own app, which I love that it's not on social media, because I feel like social media, we can have these energies attached when we open up the social media apps that doesn't get us in necessarily our highest state. But the relationship that you create with the Sanctuary of She app when you click it is that you are reaffirming what you want and what you're focusing on every time you open up that app. It is so easy inside, you guys, when you come and you get a virtual tour. It is so easy. I was like, I personally would not join something that I had to learn a new interface. Like, I wouldn't do it. We've already got too much. So there's a virtual tour when you come in, but it is so easy. There's an event schedule. The main thing that we have is to represent these weeks of soul, human, energy, She week, every 4-week cycle, is we have a ceremony on every Sunday morning. These are all recorded for each cycle. So if you can't make it, you get to do it on your own time. But so many of the women love to come live because it's really beautiful energy, and it's the perfect way to start your week. You've probably seen me posting videos and photos of these ceremonies for a long time. But so this is the main thing we do, is every Sunday morning we have a ceremony. Now, this ceremony is 45 minutes in silence with the intention of the week we're in. So if we're in Soul Week, you have 45 minutes to intentionally be in space with yourself in the energy that's helping amplify the experience that you're having with your intuition, to really sit with soul. What are we building? What do we want to do? We have 1 week with this. So what's my intention for the week? And then at the end, we have about 15-20 minutes to come together and talk. And these quick little conversations serve as activators for mindset, but also activators for actions. We get off that call and we're like ready to go, having this beautiful week. So every Sunday we have that for the week ahead. Every Wednesday, I drop a guided meditation to kind of serve as this halfway point in the week to help you reground, recommit to your intention. Because ultimately, the most important thing about this energy is that we're staying tapped into it. It's your ability to hold these intentions and the awareness of it that starts to make that 95% subconscious become a little less, so that we're focused on gets a little more. This is how we change our life. So it's literally the act of creating the intention, but really holding it and learning how to hold it longer and longer each week with consistency over perfection. So we have those midweek meditations that we drop. Every other week in the community, we have a mastermind call. So it's a space to come together, bounce ideas, get different perspectives, seek support, be there for others. They're juicy, yummy conversations. I sometimes bring topics for us to discuss and talk about to make it really just as high vibration as possible. And then we have a quarterly book club, which is amazing. So every quarter, every 3 months, we have a book that we all read together, and then we have a book club group on it. And you guys, so many other bonuses. When you come in, you will see we have a human design workshop. We have this workshop called Trajectory that we did, which is all about reframing the energetics behind the question, what do I want? That really sets your experience in this space on fire. So we have that. There's so much. Bonuses, book clubs, masterminds, ceremonies. And overall, it's this place 24/7 that you get to open and participate in conversation and use it as this spot on your phone to stay focused with consistency over perfection in the direction that you want to go. So that is my not so quick little elevator pitch. More and more, I'm talking about this space. It's just becoming so alive right before our eyes. And in every conversation I'm in lately, I'm talking about this in some way. So this nuance of words has gotten refined, but it's more of a conversation that you have to have like over a cup of coffee, because it is complex, and I get that. And I get that it won't be for everyone because of that. And I get that a lot of people won't make it to 18 minutes and 30 seconds because of that. However, if this is something that you've been wanting to play with or wanting for your life, understanding that this energetic system, how this works, what you want, you attract, is working no matter what. So why not make it in the direction that you want to go, in a community to do it with every single week? So again, come get your free month. I don't know what you're waiting for. The code is Sanctuary for a free month. And you guys, it's $22 a month after that. It's like a yoga class or a cup of coffee every week. $22 a month. And we have all of this. So when you come in to join us, because this is your formal invitation, and I hope you accept, because we would love to have you, we'd love to meet you, we'd love to be on your journey with you. I think there's also something so huge to be said when you start giving yourself the space to think about these, not just what do I want or need, but what do I desire? And then having people where you can build that conversation each week because the people know you. They know what you're building. They know what your desires are, and they're helping be this mirror for you to watch them unfold before your very eyes. It's the most incredible thing ever. So come join us. Use the code Sanctuary. When you join, there's a Getting Started tab. And again, it has videos explaining this philosophy on an even deeper level. There's free bonuses and trainings and workshops. There's all the recordings from the month, the book club, we got it all. The masterminds, we got it all. So come join us. Sanctuary of She, we are just getting started. The podcast has now officially switched over to the Sanctuary of She podcast. I just did a post yesterday on the Sanctuary of She Instagram with the top 5 episodes that I recommend listening to if you're like, okay, I like this energy, but I want a little bit more info, or just freaking jump in with us. You have a month to look around, experience it, and I promise you, you're not going anywhere once you experience it because it is so amazing in there. If you haven't yet followed us on the Sanctuary of She Instagram, come do that. And I can't wait to see you inside. If you have any questions, my inbox, of course, is always open. Also, let me know if you do come join so I can give you a warm welcome in the community. And I look forward to seeing you in there. This life, this human experience is so freaking magical. Abundance and scarcity are available to us in every single moment. So why would we not lean into these energies in a way that makes it so easy to play with without needing to know all the information? You just plug in, it's done for you, it's built for you, and then you watch your life change before your very eyes. I mean, what? Amazing. Okay, have a beautiful day. Send me a message if you desire, and I'll talk to you soon.